Ladies and gentlemen, the IDF has been relatively reserved when it comes to retaliating towards Yemen in the last month or so, since America, the United States Army, has been taking on the full brunt of attacking Yemen. But this week, we had a missile launched into the corridor of the airport of Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv, or right outside of Tel Aviv. And it did so much damage that flights are being canceled to Israel. I mean, it didn't do insane amounts of damage, but it did do some damage, and there were shrapnel flying into the airport itself. That Israel is now retaliating, and retaliating big time. It seems we are, I mean, I could probably announce this is going to be a full-on war with Yemen at this point. F-15s and F-35s, I'm giving you live updates. This is all happening right now, are currently striking Yemen's international airport in Sa'ana. The airspace around Yemen has been completely cleared, okay, with no people allowed in or out. And on top of that, newest reports are saying that the IDF has taken over Yemeni television and is broadcasting videos about the evacuation of the airport. There are many pictures coming out. These strikes are happening right now. The airport is completely empty. I'm going to bring you guys up some pictures of, I'm getting all these updates like live. I love doing these live updates because as these things come in live, it's so exciting. This is what the flight radar looks like in Yemen at the moment. All this is really happening, like I said, right now in this moment. I know this is in Hebrew, but what you see here in the middle that says the word Tayman in Hebrew, Yemen, this further left, right here, this further left little dot there is Sana'a, and you can see all the flight. The airspace has been completely cleared. Al-Hodeidah is where the port was, where they've been attacking like crazy from. So you could really see here the entire airspace has been shut down by this IDF strike that is taking place. I'll give you guys some pictures of the strikes that are happening. These are what they look like. So you can see immense plumes of smoke coming out of the area directly near the airport at the moment. These are within 15 minutes. 15 minutes, we're looking at over 20 strikes. Or it may be one or two less. Massive airstrikes right now happening in Yemen. Now, the funny thing about Yemen, they're very similar to Gaza because they're terrorists, or, obviously not the entire nation, but a large portion of the media there is controlled by the Houthis, which is a terrorist organization. Here's another map here of the airspace. You can see this one's in English. Completely cleared airspace. They claim every single time that an operation takes place in Yemen, they always complain or announce that 50 million kids were killed, and it's always the kids that are killed, and they don't target they don't target the army or the terrorist group. They only target children and women and civilians. We're looking at a before and after right now of the Sa'ana International Airport. This is what it looks like. Prepare to see images maybe later tonight on my community post when we see pictures of what this defeat looks like. But okay, so what's the incentive? Why is the IDF doing this? I'm showing you guys just basically, again, this is live reporting of what's happening at the moment as this stuff is breaking down. This is the inside of the Yemen's airport right now. So the IDF gave instructions for nobody to come near the vicinity of the airport. Now, why specifically is this happening in this airport? Why specifically are they targeting this airport? They're targeting this airport specifically because they have apparently, like in all these terrorist countries, stored weapons inside of the airport. A lot of explosives, a lot of detonative material inside of the airport ready to explode. And that's the reason why they're targeting this airport. I'm getting a live video right now. Let's see. I haven't even seen this right now. This is live from Yemeni TV. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to put this up for you guys to see with me. It's crazy when I think, sorry, I think that was a friend who's watching Yemeni TV who sent that to me. I don't think that was Yemen's TV station. I think that was somebody who's watching Yemeni TV, waiting to see if there's any information on what's going on with these strikes. So, essentially, Yemen has decided, like in Lebanon and like in Iran, to store weapons-grade materials inside of civilian areas like their international airport. It gives the IDF no other option but to actually strike it. Now, again, with Yemen, when they launch rockets towards Israel, they don't really, I mean, they do a relative target, but they don't really care who it hits, how many civilians it kills. So this week when they launched at the airport, their goal was to shut down the airport and to kill as many civilians as possible, maybe hit a plane, which is terrifying. And henceforth, all flights have been canceled into Israel pretty much. And I know because I'm trying to fly back to Israel soon, and a lot of flights got canceled. So it's a bit of a shit show right now, trying to get back to Israel. Okay, here we go. We got actual video. There it is. We're waiting for this. I'm happy that I'm doing this live because you guys can kind of see this coming through as it comes through. Here's the video.
عليك مصنع سمنت عمرا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل على كل ظالم على من أراد دمار البلاد حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل من أراد دمار البلاد هذا لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله دمروا مصنع سمنت عمرا لا إله إلا الله بس يا قهر قلبي يا قهر قلبي يا قهر قلبي حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل يا رب أرنا فيهم عجائب قدرتك زي ما بيفعلوا بالبلاد هكذا على كل ظالم من داخل البلاد ومن خارج البلاد مصنع سمنت عمرو لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله إن الله وإنا ضربتي يا قهري على من مات.
Don't get it twisted. The way that they will recall this is that Israel attacked them. In Yemen's history, moving forward, remember, they will not say that the Houthi terrorist group was attacking Israel for months with almost zero retaliation by Israel. I know, because I've been running from their rockets for the last year and a half I was living in Israel. They will not recall that. They will start the story at Israel attacked us. You can see there's the strikes on the airport. Remember that they attacked our airport this week. Remember that they struck our airport this week, and they've tried to do in the past. This is a retaliation to their very idiotic actions against the state of Israel. It's crazy what's going on. It's heating up right now. This is going to be a pretty intense war. It looks like our fronts are going back to Yemen as the newest, hottest front, and Gaza. Things in Syria seem to have calmed down immensely since the IDF took action there. And in Lebanon, they're status quo. Nothing's really changing there. It seems like the government is just kind of in bed with Hezbollah and is slowly and quietly rebuilding their capabilities. We strike them every once in a while. But it looks like Lebanese haven't stepped up to the plate like we hoped they would. It's just going to go back to being exactly what it was before. So the Middle East shall continue being the Middle East, my friends, with little change to the situation. I'm seeing if I'm getting more video here to show you guys from Yemen. So it looks like we have here IDF targeting. Looks like this is them shooting the rockets from our, I'm assuming, UAVs. Whoo! Wow, that's a big explosion. Holy shite. That's a big one. God damn. Here we get some more angles of the explosion here. It's coming from live on the ground right now in Yemen. See through. That's just the plumes of smoke. Wow. And by the way, yesterday, both the IDF and the United States military were striking Yemen. Oh, there's a wow. Wow.
اضرب الله أكبر
الله أكبر. Oh, this is so messed up, man. Why would you guys get involved in this? You're so stupid. Why? Why? What purpose does it serve? So dumb. My God. The level of stupidity across the Middle East never ceases to amaze me. It really doesn't. I'm continuously baffled. Anyways, we'll probably get you guys another news update tomorrow about Yemen, because I think after the dust settles, or maybe even later tonight if something more intense happens, what to expect moving forward. People keep asking me what's going to go on summer in Israel this summer. Here's what you need to know, okay? This is what you need to be prepared for. Summer, every single summer, especially, this is even outside of the context of war, the jihadis around the Middle East heat up, and they get ready to defrost from the winter, and they get ready to fight. I'm not saying this as a joke. It is true. Every single summer, there's always a surge in terrorist activity, in jihadist activity, and in military action, unfortunately. That's just the way of the jihadis. So we're looking at a reality right now where we're probably going to have a pretty intense back and forth with Yemen. Yemen will stop if we somehow hit the ceasefire with Gaza. And like I reported to you earlier, with Gaza, the situation is very volatile right now. Hamas has their back up against the wall. They're going to try to wait this thing out and to stall as long as they possibly can. That's what's going to happen. And whether or not that ends up turning into a productive situation for them, we don't know. But what I can tell you for certain is that Gaza is most likely going to be fully occupied by the IDF for the foreseeable future and maybe forever. And Yemen, at the end of this, is going to be a pretty different country. Not because the Houthis will lose control. They're most likely going to stay in control. I don't think that either the U.S. or the Israeli military has the stamina to fight a forever battle with Yemen, because it's just not. They'll stay in power. I mean, the Saudis weren't able to do it, and the Emiratis weren't able to do it. We're not going to be able to do it for sure. But Yemen might be set back a couple hundred years technologically. Not that they're that far advanced right now. They're probably going to be set pretty far back financially. But they'll get by, and they'll continue doing their stupid jihadi activities. This is what's going to happen. There's panic in Yemen heading ahead to the strike. Roads leading to the airport have been blocked. The airport is currently being evacuated. Huge breaking news. Media reports that the Israeli Air Force jets are currently conducting airstrikes in Sa'ana International Airport, which is under Houthi control. Multiple explosives have been heard in the vicinity of the airport. Prior to the operation, the IDF issued a public warning urging evacuation of the area. The strikes are being carried out in retaliation for ongoing missile and drone attacks launched by the Iran-backed Houthi group against Israel, including a recent strike on Ben Gurion Airport that injured several people. That's where we're sitting right now. I'll give you guys some more updates a little bit later. Please do consider supporting the channel, because most of these news updates that I put out in emergency, they get demonetized because I don't have enough time to get them approved by YouTube, so I don't actually make a lot of money off of them or any money at all. So I'd really appreciate you financially contributing to the channel by maybe even buying some merchandise like this awesome White Colonizer hat, other merchandise, becoming a patron, supporting the channel in any way you can, and I'll see you guys next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Klats.
If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.